Well, now we have created our project and we have seen how the numbers are being generated. Let's now just have a deep dive into the sequences and see exactly what every segment do. So let's just play around a little bit and see what this is all about. Okay, we go back to the sequences and let's just create a new one, and we give this one a name of everything. And you also have a transform when it comes to the sequences, and that's basically you have uppercase and lowercase. You can have your sequence to be uppercase or lowercase, and this is more used when you have the dates, the textual representation of the dates within your number. You're gonna make sure that they're all uppercase or that they're all lowercase. You can choose. For now, let's just head it with a, you know what, let's just do an uppercase. Just see how that goes. Why not? And click save. And we're ready to create something in this everything sequence. All right, let's just add one and see what we have. We have these three categories: fixed, date, and sequential. And for the fixed, we have, again, the project number. Let's just start with the project number. All right, there's no config for that, so just click save. All right, we have project number. Again, let's see what we have. We have fixed text, which is exactly what the name suggests, fixed text. This is the same each and every time. This will not change within any circumstances. It's going to be the same, but I want to have a delimiter here, so let's add that first. We're going to add the dash again, and let's just add a fixed text like so, and call this, let's have it say fixed, and let's have it be just like so, and we can see the uppercase transformation working. So I'm going to have a fixed text that's going to say fixed text, so click save. You can also also see that the uppercase transformation is working. Perfect. All right, let's just keep on going here. Let's add another delimiter so we can see the difference between everything. Let's add the next one, which is a group. And a group is kind of like fixed text, but you can have some numbers could be this type of fixed text, and some other numbers can be this type of fixed text. So this is like you can group certain numbers together, and the best way to the best way you can see it is to show it. So let's just call this group, I don't know, type. And let's say we are in the business of making cars, so we can have one type could be like B for the body of the car, and we can have another option to be the frame. Option the value is going to be you have options. You have the value and the label. The value is going to be what's being stored in the number, and the label is going to be just like a label, going to tell you more easily what things are. So let's do the body, the frame. Let's go S for seats, and we can P for paint. Let's just do that. The options can be absolutely whatever you want. You can have numbers and letters and dashes and whatever. So, but let's just have this for now. Okay, we'll save that. So now we have project number, fixed text, and the group. And you can see the preview is growing. That's good. Again, let's add a delimiter, just again to see the differences. And let's try now. We're done with the fixed. Let's go to the dates. We have year, month, and day. These are kind of self-explanatory, so I'm not going to go too deep into it, but let's just do it. And for this time, let's do the full year. And let's add a month. I'm gonna have, let this be text. I'm gonna do the short one, August, like so, or it's gonna be November, yeah, 2023, November, and let's add the day as well. This is gonna be, let's do digits for now. You know what? Let's do the full day, like so. So today is a Thursday. So it's going to be like this. Okay, cool. Now let's add another delimiter because we're done with the dates. And we're going to do the sequentials now. We have two sequential. We have a local sequential and we have a global sequential. Let's just, before we add it, let me just talk about what the difference between them two, both the local and the global. The local you saw in the previous video, that's going to be bound to the project that you're in. You're going to start at 1 and go up to 10. And the next project is also going to start at 1 and go up to 10. So the sequential will only, the local sequential will only work within the project that you're in. But you also have this global sequential that's not bound to the project but to the entire company. And that means is that the first project is going to start at 1 and go down to 10. But when you create a new project and you add 10 numbers, that one's going to start at 11 and go to 20. So it's going to be changed for each project there is. So that's the difference. So, but let's have a look at it. The sequential global doesn't have any configuration for this sequence because the global is company wide. So this is configured somewhere else on the company, and it's gonna be the same for every sequence you make. The local sequential can be, numbers for one sequence, and it's gonna be letters for another sequence. But the global one is gonna be the same no matter the sequence. So it's got no configuration here. And let's just add it, and I can show you where you can find the configuration for the global sequential. All right, you do that, but go back to numbering sequences, and we have our everything here, and you can click the three buttons, the three dots to the right of the number sequences, and you find the global sequence here. So this is where you define the global one. You have again numbers or letters. So let's just stick to numbers. We're gonna have leading zeros, and it's gonna be 5 long. Is what I'm gonna have. And the increment's also gonna be 1. And here is going to ask you what the first value is going to be. And you might have, again, this might be different from you. You might have another value from somewhere else, and you want Numero to start this global one at something. For me, I'm going to have it at 1. And I'm going to do save here, like so. Great. So now we can go back to the everything sequence. And let's add the last sequence here. Let's again just add a delimiter to see it. And add the local sequential. And last time we had numbers, so now let's try letters. We're gonna have a letter, and it's gonna be with 3 length, like so. We have something called reset when maxed out, and we have something now called reset when, and a drop down changes. I'm gonna show you the last one in a bit, but let me just go over them. The reset when maxed out means that when you, for my sake here, you have 3 length of letters. It's gonna start at AAA and go all the way up to ZZZ, ZZZ. And what reset when maxed out is gonna do is when it reaches ZZZ, it's going to go, and the next one now is going to be AAA. It's going to reset when you have maxed out the length of 3. If you don't have this, it's going to just increment, and the next one's going to be AAAA, 4 A's after that. But if you reset, it's going to go back to AAA. So if you want to activate reset, it's very common thing to have is to have like the day or month also in it, so you have something else that's gonna make this number unique, even though you go back to AAA. So yeah, that's reset when maxed out. And then you have reset when another field changes. So this is a nifty little thing that many wants to have. Let's say if they have the sequential of numbers, they have 001 and goes up, but every month they want to start at 1 again. Then you can have it reset back to 1 when month changes to something else. And I'm going to show you that in a bit. Or you can have, every year when you start a new year, you want to go back to 001 again. Or even the day, every day you want to start at 1. You choose. So that's one reset when year changes means. So for now, let's just take them away and just keep the sequential local letters, and I'm going to show you this later on how it works. So click save for that. And now we're going to have, this is going to be quite a long number here. We have the project, and then we have some fixed. This is going to be the same for everything. Then we have our group. I'm going to show you that real soon. We have the full year. We have the 3-letter representation of the month. And we have the full name of the month, no, the day, sorry. And then we have the global number, and then we have the local sequential. And this time it's going to be letters, 3 letters long. Right, so this is a big sequential. But let's try it out. Let's go back to the project and create a new project here. It's going to call this all the numbers, and the sequence we're going to use is the everything now. We have 2, not the default one. We're going to use the everything here. And again, I'm just going to enter a number, and I'm going to show you this later on. But for now, let's just enter a number here for the projects. And click save. All right, so let's say we can generate 20 numbers for this one. And it's going to again ask me for my first number for my local sequential. The first one's going to be AAA, so that's great. But now also you have this one, the groups, because you can change what the group is going to be for each number. So this one is going to ask you, I see you have groups in your sequence. What do you want? These 20 numbers you're about to create, do you want Numero to set these one to be a specific group or not? You can change this at a later afterwards as well. So you can see we have the body, the frame, the seats, and the paint that we created, or you can set it to be nothing. So for now, let's just set it to be nothing, so you can see how that looks as well. We click generate, okay, and let's see what we got. All right. So here we have it. We have our numbers. We have the project number, and we have this fixed. It's gonna stay fixed forever. Nothing gonna change. And then we have the group. And now you can see the group is null. It's nothing. So this bracket null indicates that there is no group set for this number. And we have the full year, the textual representation of the month, and the full one for the day. And here you can see the global sequential starting at 1 and going all the way down to 20. And we can see this better if you create a new project. And I'll demonstrate that in a bit. But let's just continue here. And then you have the local sequential, start with AAA and go down to B, C, D to T. So that's cool. So here, there you have it. There you can see how everything works. But let's now also see the groups. Because what I can do now is I can click the first one here, and I can right click, and then you can see here that you have the set type. You can set the group here for body, frame, seat, and paints. So let's set this one to be body. And now you can see that the null here has been replaced with that B that we set. So that's awesome. We can have, so you can have this one to be B, and you can right click on this one and set it to be the F. Now this is the F. But you can also change this however you like. So let's mark a few of them here. Let's say we mark these ones and we set these all to be seats, and now they're all going to be S, which is cool. And we can have the rest here, we can set this to be the paint, like so. And now these are P. So now you can see how group works. It's grouping numbers together. You can have numbers be something else. This is kind of like fixed, but not exactly. So this is how it works. You can set different numbers to be different things, like so. Great. So I'm gonna demonstrate how the global works by showing you that the next project is going to be starting at 21, hopefully. So you see here we have the global starting at 1 and go all the way down to 20. The local starts at AAA and goes down to T, and the next project is also going to start at AAA because that's just local, but the global one hopefully is going to start at 21. So let's do that. Let's go back to projects and create a new one with next in line for global. Let's just call this number 3002, like so. And again, let's use the everything drawing sequence and click save. Now we have a new project, and let's generate 20 new numbers for this. And again, the local is going to start at AAA. We can even change this to be just to see how it works, to see. And then again, we can set the type directly if we want to have all our 20 numbers to be a certain type. So let's just try it and set it to be the body, like so. And click generate. Let's see how this goes. Now you can see that all the groups now is set to be B for this one, but you can also see that the global one starts at 21. So that's how global works. It does. It goes up to 40. It will continue all the time, and it will not. It will not be the same for any project. Okay, but you see that the local one again starts with what I said, with C, and goes all the way up to V, like so. So because the local one is only bound to the project. Great. Next, let me just show you quickly with the resets how that works. So let's go back to the sequences and create a new sequence that we can call resets. And we're not going to have any transformation for that. Click save. Again, let's just add the project number as a segment. That's why I always do that. And let's do a delimiter. And let's do a sequential local, like so. Let's have it with leading zeros, and it's going to be 3 letters there. Increment with 1. And I'm gonna have, I'm sorry, I need a date field to see the reset when something changes. So let's add a day here. And it's gonna be digits with leading zeros, like so. Again, let's add a delimiter to visually see these things easier. And let's go with the local one. Okay, let's do a number with leading zeros with length of 3. Increment's gonna be 1. I'm going to try with a maxed out and see how that works. And I'm also going to have a reset when the date changes. The day changes. like so. Let's hit save, see how this one will go. So it's going to be the project, the day number, and then the local sequential. So that's cool. Let's go back to projects and create a project like so. Let's go with new project, and we're just gonna get this reset maxed out like so. This one's gonna use the sequence of resets that we created, and I'm gonna give this one a number of 5001 like so. And we're in. Okay, let's make 10 numbers, and the first number is going to be 1, but to visualize the resets, let's start at 995 like so. And that means the first number is going to be 6, 7, 8, 9, and then the next one should be 001 again, since we have that reset on. So let's just see it and click generate. Okay. Right. And as you can see, we start at 995, go all the way up to 999, and then it will reset back to 001 and go to up to 5 again. So that's how reset when maxed out is on. And if we don't have reset when maxed on, let's see how that works. Let's go back to the sequences. We click on the resets, click on this one, and we remove the reset when maxed out. Click save. And let's go back to projects and create a new one. Reset. I called it no reset when maxed. Just give this one a 5002. Again, let's put it to be the resets sequence. Save. Let's create numbers in here. Let's create 10 again. And again, let's start at 995. Let's see how this works. Generate. Okay. And now you just see it jump straight to 1000, and it's going to continue like so. So now you see what reset is doing for that. Next, let's see how it works with the dates. So for that, let's create a new project with, we're going to call it reset when day changes. Again, let's do the reset sequence. Number here is going to be, let's do 5003 then. Click save. And let's just create, let's create 10 numbers and start at 1. You know what? Let's create 8 numbers just to see it even better, like so. And there it is. We have changed, it goes from 1, 2, 3 and up to 8. And tomorrow, when the day is 10, it's going to change. It's going to change to be back to 01 again. I'm gonna hack this, so in behind the scenes I'm gonna do a little bit of changing to make this to see how this just to visualize how it's going to be. And we're back. Well, what I've done now is I've actually changed the last number here to be yesterday, 08. And hopefully now, if I make new numbers, it's gonna be today 09, but it's gonna start at 1 since the day have changed since the last one. So hopefully, let's see how that goes. So let's generate 10 more, like so, and click generate. Okay. And you can see, since the day have changed from 8 to 9, it reset the local sequential back to 01 and continues like so. So that's how the reset when something changes work. So there we have that. Now, I think we have gone through all the types of segments that we have. The last thing I'm going to show you, actually there are two things I'm going to show you. First is going to show you how you set the default values. As you have noticed, when I click the new project here, the sequence, the drawing sequence, is set to my default one by standard. But let's say if if everything is what I'm going to use 99 out of 100 times, how can I set everything to be the default one every time? That's quite easy. You go back to this sequences, and you can see on the default one you have this green pin here, and that's because this is the default drawing sequence. So if we go to the everything one, everything here, you can click on the three dots on the right hand side, and you can set as default for drawings, like so. And it will change to be everything. And now if I make a new project, the everything is going to be the default one, so you don't have to remember to change every time. So there you have that. And the last thing I'm going to show you is how you can create use numbering sequences to create project numbers. So let's go back to the number sequences and create a new one for our project. Let's call this one project sequence. It's gonna have no transformation for this one. We just click save here, and we can start building our numbers just as we do with our numbers. It's gonna be obviously one difference, and that is that the segment of project number will not work. It's going to be ignored if you use this for projects, because you can't have the project number be the project number. It doesn't make any sense. So if you just know that if you use project number in this sequence, it's just going to be ignored and not be used. So for us, let's do the year. Let's do short year. We're gonna add, and the month is gonna be the digit month, and it's gonna be a sequential. This one can be local. It's gonna, because there is, the local here means within the context of the company. This is gonna act like a global one. This is never gonna be reset back to 1 at any point. So again, let's keep the leading zeros. I had it to be 3. And no, I don't want to have the reset and maxed out. It's going to be continued to be 1,000. That's fine. And okay, let's click save. But obviously I want to have a delimiter between that. So let's just add a delimiter here and drag it over here. So that's how I want to have my project numbers to be: the year, the month, and just a numbering sequence, like so. Cool. And just like the default numbering sequence, you can also do the same for the project sequence. You can set this as a default for project numbers. Now, before I do that, let me just show you. When you go back to projects and you create a new one, you can see that the default behavior is to not use a numbering sequence, and you have to click on this, and now you can select the project numbering sequence to be the project sequence, like so. But let me just close this up, and if I go back to numbering sequences now, and I say that the project sequence is going to be the default for project numbers, like so, this one's going to have this project icon next to it. And if I go back to project now and click new project, it's going to default you to use the numbering sequence because it knows you have a default numbering sequence for a project. It's going to default to using it like so. And just like with numbers, it's going to ask you what the first number for the local sequential is going to be. For my case, I want to start at 1. So that's cool. So let's just give this a name. Let's give this of my project X, like so, and click save and see how it goes. And you can see the number of the project becomes 2311001. So it made that number for us automatically. And if we go back to the projects, you can see that you have the number, you have the project X here, like so. And if we create a new one, it's going to be again defaulting to use a numbering sequence because we have a default sequence. The first number is not, it's no longer there because you already made it. And we can call this of project Y, and it's going to default to use the numbering sequence, and click save. And now this one is going to be number 2, like so. So there you have it. That's how you can also have numbering sequence to create project numbers if you wanted to do that. You have that option as well. So now I think we have gone through everything we need to know about the sequences and how they work and how they behave. And hopefully you can you will find the right way to make the numbers the way exactly how you like them to be. In the next one, let's just move on with how you can handle these numbers and what more you can do within the project you create. How can we continue using Numero to make our lives easier?